We all know why we're here. So let me ask you a question then. Why the big secret? Truth seekers were really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, truth seekers were really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, break it down. Now can you peep it? They're deceiving all the people. Let me ask you, what's the secret? Misinformation and lies, a devious disguise. They want the EMF blast until our brains is fried. Oh, point their beams in the sky. Oh, it's a movie now. This world is all CGI. Their plot is truly foul. But we're here to rise up and bring the real. Time is now, truth seekers. Y'all know how I feel. Truth seekers were really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we're knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, truth seekers were really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we're knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, why the big secret?
All right, truth seekers. This is Roderick Martin, and today is Wednesday. No, Thursday. Thursday. What am I talking about? It is Thursday, and I am here with the great Marie Jackson, the ghost hunter, and we're going to be doing a conversation about the connection between ghost UFOs and aliens, and we want you to chime in on the conversation. If you're listening to me from Clubhouse today, then you're going to there's a link at the top of the channel, or the pinned link. You can come over and see the live stream if you want. We're live streaming from YouTube. I'm kind of a hybrid, so I got a face for TV and radio. She has a TV face. So if you want to come and see, I consider her one of the most beautiful ghost hunters, then come check her out. And that's Marie Jackson. And so, Marie, how are you doing today? We'll get started here in just a minute. I'm just getting a few notes together. But in the meantime, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful today. Hello to everyone, all the listeners and the watchers, the viewers. Today has been pretty busy, pretty active, and had a lot going on this week, and have a lot of projects planned for the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Investigation projects. So it's been active.
So tell me a little bit about what you had going on this week, or share it with the audience a little bit.
Yes. So I recently went to do some filming in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, for a one of the episodes for the TV series. So that went pretty good. Can't disclose too much detail about it, but it went really, really well. So I had a 2-day venture to go do that. And I have some other investigations lined up. Two, actually.
Okay. All right.
Two investigations coming.
Two investigations lined up. That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, y'all know the rule. If you, not the rule, it's the, I mean, we don't have rules here.
No rules.
Yeah. We actually break rules here. Y'all know the wishes, and that is if you could hit that like button on the video to let YouTube and everyone else know that we're here, we'll be doing that as well. So I do have to do a quick little opening and just a little bit, just to kind of greet everyone and let them know what we're going to be doing. It takes a few seconds, and I think we can just do that softly here today. So, all right. Welcome, everyone. Once again, it is Thursday. This is Roderick Martin. I'm with Marie Jackson, and she is the ghost hunter out of Kansas City. So if you're in the area and you think you got a ghost in your house, or your neighbor's house, or your cousin's house, or your brother's house, your sister, your friend, and if you just think it's a ghost any damn where in the vicinity of you in Kansas City, of course, give her a holler. She'll come by and check it out. I didn't say she gonna pull the poltergeist and start telling you to walk into the light and the house is clean. She's just gonna let you know the ghost is here. Which you already know. You just need confirmation. She's going to confirm the theory for you. Now, I'm Roderick Martin, and I am a UFO investigator with MUFON. I investigate UFOs. In fact, I'm located in the Jumbo State, y'all. And this is where the UFOs come out to play. And I know if you're wondering, it's a Texas thing. Y'all, let me use those words. So I'm in Texas, and that's where I am. So Texas and Kansas City, is there a connection between the ghost and UFOs and everything else? And so we believe that there is, and we have already been talking. This is our 4th episode. We're doing this on Thursday. So anytime you want this conversation, make sure that you hop in on the conversation. Now, I'm a TV show host as well. I host shows on the Discovery Channel, which is Discovery Plus, and one of the shows is called Alien Endgame. It is showing right now. I'm in another documentary called The Black Knight Satellite, Beyond the Signal. This is with Billy Carson on Forbidden Knowledge TV. That is streaming right now as well. Next week, I'll be in a show on Fox Tubi that starts about Roswell, New Mexico anniversary. That'll show, I think, July the 6th or 7th, so you'll be able to see that. And I've also been featured on George Norrie's GAIA and in Open Mind. That actually comes out in another couple of some months down the road. But in the meantime, it's that conversation that we're going to start, and then I will get into what's in the news, but there was not a lot. So let me kind of bring that down a little bit for y'all and just kind of say, because, Maria, I usually hop right into some of the main articles in the news, but I think there's a couple of things we'll talk about a little bit. And I don't know if you were familiar with what was on social media yesterday, which was really hitting everybody. There was some UFO or flares they was trying to claim that showed up in San Diego yesterday. Were you familiar with that? Or 2 days ago, Monday or Tuesday, I think, yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
It was all over. We discussed it. It was the most trending topic in every news station that was airing, blogs, Twitter. There was these lights that showed up in the middle of the bay there and freaked everybody out. They even saw them all the way to Tijuana, Mexico. They first tried to claim there hadn't been flares, but then, these things stayed up in the sky for an hour. And then, they even sent out, we looked later the next day and noticed that they actually, the Navy or the Air Force sent jets to investigate these things. And then, of course, we had people in our chat. JJ, let me say good evening to everybody. Tyron is there, Flurge, Diana, JJ, they're in the chat saying hello, and I want to welcome y'all for doing that as well. And don't forget, y'all, hit the like button. There's enough of you here that we should be already up past 10. So if you haven't had an opportunity to do that, please do so. But yeah, this thing was trending. It was huge. It was all over the thing, and the internets and Twitter and everything else, and people were like, what the heck is going on? So we later find out. I think it was a UFO. Some people say they was testing some technology. There are some try to say it was flares, but it was not flares. And that's my take on it, okay?
Yeah, flares just don't linger and congregate in the air for
an hour.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you know, an hour, so that you don't even have to say it. I'm gonna say it for you. An hour. There's a lot of things don't hang around for an hour. So, all right. So, Marie, usually, in a minute, we normally, Justin is here. Ghost Link is here. So, UK, I don't know from Florida, it says UKL Mata. So, flourish. We got a couple of new people here as well, and usually, we get a few people watching the streams, and then after that, people watching on their leisure, and it grows pretty significantly. So I just want to thank y'all for being here live with us and participating in the chat as well. We got a great conversation for you, so I'm gonna get down into a few things. I was doing some research, and before I do that, we normally have our would you rather questions and the impossible question. I'm gonna do those two, but it's gonna be you're gonna answer them, and if you can't answer it, we'll get you a lifeline in the chat to see if they can help you answer, especially the impossible question. Fair enough? And we'll see who's going to be, if she needs it, who's going to be the one to rescue Marie from the impossible question. Because I picked a good one tonight.
Okay.
Now, I know the answer, so I can't get involved on that level, but we'll definitely do that. But I know the answers to those, and we'll do it. So we'll do that in about 5 minutes once we get into the show here. And real quickly, let me just think our supporters real quick. That takes about 30 seconds, so let me do that as well. I can't get anywhere without these folks. So, all right, everyone, here's the supporters. I just want to thank you, truth seekers, that have joined our membership. Their names on the screen there. And these are people that support the truth seekers, our researchers and collaborators, and they help out with investigation and stuff. So I want to thank these people. It is a $5 membership, okay? And it's 16 cents a day, but it does support the show. And so without them, I just think that, how far do we go? So I just want to give them thanks there. So also to businesses, if you're watching this, you want to sponsor this podcast, we are in 59 different countries. The podcast is now being downloaded like crazy. And so in all the different areas. And so the YouTube videos, website that's going back up, the internet radio, brand sponsorships. And then personally, I'm doing weight loss sponsorships. So if you decide that, and I've already had 3 contacts, so I'm looking at a couple of companies right now, but I'm still open for the best thing for me and for you, because when I say for you, if you decide to do that. So that's the shout outs to everybody. And so we'll tone that down there, and we'll get into a couple other things. Again, I have to always recognize those supporters, Marie. I got to do it. And that makes it great. So put you on a hot seat. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're going to put you on a hot seat, and we're going to go into one of our sections here. If I can get my little stuff that I've been working on this thing here. So we're going to fire this up. And let me see where we at. So it is that time. And
exercises for your brain. This is Would You Rather.
y'all hear that? I know, right? Like it. Yeah. There you go. All right, so here we go. This is for you. And if you can't answer it, we will get this is just opinionated. It's not the impossible question. And then we're gonna get into that ghost talk. But real quickly, would you rather have 20 brothers and sisters early on in life, or end up with having 20 children later on in life?
I would rather have 20 brothers and sisters early on in life. And ironically, I have just about half of that right now.
Really? It's 10 of y'all?
My mom and dad have 9 kids together.
God, he's a lucky man. Golly. You can't find that much happening in households these days.
No, and we're all stair steppers, one after the other.
Let's see, there you go. All right, so in the audience, JJ said 20 brothers and sisters. Anyone else in the takers there? We got, would you rather have 20 brothers and sisters early on in life, or having 20 children? I think now that I'm older, I want the 20 kids.
Well, you ain't got to give birth to them.
Well, you got to think about it. I was at my family reunion recently for this last holidays that we had. And one of my cousins got about 13 kids. And he's a street hustler. And I was like, dude, what's going on? And he made a comment that was Captain Obvious to me. He said, I got to have somebody that's going to take care of me when I get older. And he said, out of the 13, I got 2 good ones that I know that's going to take care of me. And I was just floored. And I was thinking 10 years ago, I'm like, dude, you got too many damn kids. But today I'm like, you one lucky son of a gun here. Now, my other cousin talk about if the two kids that you got won't take care of you, Roderick, you need to go back and do some relationship building. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, but still,
Don't say.
the numbers game is the numbers game. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have the siblings.
Diana says she'd rather have 20 brothers and sisters. Okay, maybe all the women's gonna say y'all don't want to pump out 20 kids,
We're the ones
right?
that have to push them out.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Diana? We got to push those suckers out.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I didn't think about that. All right, we'll get into our impossible question, and then we're going to hop in the show. But listen, if she can't answer this, if you want to provide a lifeline, y'all welcome to do that. Heather says smart, but you save those millions of dollars and pay for some help. Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, so we're going to get into the next question, and then let's dive into some UFO talk, right? And some paranormal. So I just like to, kind of open things up a little bit. And this is for the audience. If you want to give her a lifeline, super chat it or something. Maybe that'll work. So here we go.
What could it be? Is that even possible?
It's driving me crazy. It's like a mind puzzle, an awesome mind puzzle.
Let those synapses fire up. This is the impossible question.
All right. See, those things are, specially made. All right. So you seen the question. The question is, what have 6 faces in total, but does not wear makeup, has 21 eyes, but cannot see despite all the eyes? Yes.
Oh, it's a goody.
Come on, if don't y'all in the thing answer yet unless she asks for a lifeline, and then y'all can ask, and then we're gonna get into some UFO and paranormal talk. But this is I just want them to know the caliber of person our team is here.
One has 6 faces in total, but does not wear makeup and has 21 eyes and cannot see.
Despite all the eyes and cannot
Despite having all of these eyes.
But cannot see.
Can I get the audience to give me a lifeline? I mean, I just need some help on this one.
All right. So in the audience, JJ, I know you want to take a stab at it, and I know y'all Googling. Tyron has give a super chat, so he's going to give you the lifeline. So there we go. He said those 20 siblings y'all talking about. No. Okay. All right. So who else? Come on. Who else want to? He talking about the 20 kids got the, but then they would have 40. They would have 40 eyes. 40. Yeah, they would have 40 eyes instead of 20.
A dice.
Okay. So he is not. That $2 is not going to get you there. That's not a good lifeline. Anyone else want to help out with her question and you want a super chat? And we just trying to, it's just a fun minute. So if it's a $2.99 and you got the answer, y'all can hit that chat button and throw it up there. But there are some good answers already coming through the chat. Don't look because you're going to cheat. Don't look. All right. One more time. What has 6 faces in total, but does not wear makeup, has 21 eyes, but cannot see despite all the eyes?
Can I answer?
You want to answer it? All right,
Yeah.
Look, JJ. All right, I knew he was going to do it. All right, so JJ, $2 super chat. What's your answer, JJ? We're going to put it up on screen. What's the answer? Oh, he already did an answer. Let me go back. The answer is JJ saying that it is dice. And you know what? The answer is correct. So it is dice. So thank JJ, please. And he was your lifeline with a $2 offer there.
And Norm said it up there too.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't do that. Okay.
It didn't count. JJ said it with power. $2.
With power. Okay.
Yeah. So just give him a shout out for him. JJ is a great person.
JJ, thank you.
All right. So let's get into some talk, and I appreciate y'all. And that was my formula test. So when I have all these big time guests coming up soon, we will have them to answer some of the questions and get them a lifeline if they can't. And hopefully it raises $2 like it did today. And that is so much freaking excitement. So I really appreciate y'all doing that.
Y'all are awesome.
They are. I have the best. Okay, so let's get into it. I was looking, doing some research, and just checking out and see what other people thought about the conversation of ghosts and connections. And I was looking on Curie, is that what it's called? Quarry or something? And they were saying in so many words that most people was trying to say they both are spiritual beings, the ghost and the aliens. And I thought that was kind of weird for a minute, to even think of a ghost being a not just okay. We know they're spirits, but when you think of a spiritual being, you thinking positive, and this light. But hell, a ghost is a ghost. So, what is your thought about that, though?
Yeah, the coming up with a fine-tuned collaboration between the two. I can see their perspective on the whole spiritual being part, considering that they both have this this infinite, unlimitless possibility of form, I guess you can say.
Okay.
And the connections between them two, in my mind, the first thing that comes in my mind is their ability to transfer themselves in multiple locations and multiple areas without limitations.
Well, hold for a second. JJ says, can either of us define spiritual as it pertains to the both? So you first. I think you was going into it anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then there's a little bit of a cross when it comes to ufology or UFOs being identified in the spiritual component. Spiritual can also be a link between religion, the identification of specific existence of beings outside of a human form. Then it kind of crosses over. That's why I use energy more so than I use spirit, because it identifies specific things, and I don't like to cross into that religious component of discussion. But ghost or energy form, those are the terminology or the terms that I usually utilize more so than spirit. So maybe they're referring to more of an energy combination type of relationship with the UFOs or with the extraterrestrials and the actual ghosts. Maybe they're trying to synchronize them in that format, but I don't typically say spirit. Okay.
Well, I think it's I mean, put the name up, other people can see it. Ford just said, put that Cash App up so other people can see it. It is up. It is Cash App, $ Y the big secret, capitalize the Y, the big two secret. If you want to hit that, and we usually get that 11:11. So $11.11 is that stroke of genius that forging Justin actually started that, and he's been doing that, and I just really enjoy it because 11:11 is all on my watch, all on my phones. I keep up with that. So back to what we were saying, and there it is. The Cash App is up on the screen if you want to support the show. It's Y, the $ Y, then the big, then secret. And like I said, we got a lot of stuff coming for you and everything. As Nicole said, hello, everyone. She's here with us. So what's going on, Nicole? All right. So again, to answer JJ's question in this particular box, I think when it comes down to spirits itself or spiritual, and this is where the consciousness talk within ufology comes from. My perspective, a lot of people have a different answer because being a UFO investigator, we do not even go there because I'm not looking interdimensional when somebody report a UFO sighting. I got to go with the facts and what I see and what they provide. It's only when you get people say they was being contacted, through their dreams or all of this, that it becomes into the realm of spirits and interdimensional. Now, the connectivity, though, that I think, and this is one of the questions I wanted to go into, was there's often time that people say that because both of these are multi-dimensional, they can go through walls and move and have the capability of going through dimensions, then how come they're not one of the same? Because the same, reptilian can come through my wall and just walk right up in here, right, and show himself. And the same thing happens with a ghost who can walk right up in here and show themselves. So my question for you, and as well as for me and the audience, is it possible that we're talking about the same thing or some cases are confused that it may not be an ET contacting them. It could be a ghost, family member, somebody from another dimension that they just saying, no, it can't be a cousin Joe because we didn't get along. It's got to be an ET, right? Is that possible?
Yeah, at this point, I believe anything is possible. The way that things have started to become disclosed, and the more testimonies that are coming out, and the more reports that people are putting out there. In reality, when you really think about it, how do you know which one is being more of an influence and impact in their and imposing their existence on you? How do you really know when they're both poised with the same capabilities, similarities? How do you know? I really think that it could be a cross between the two, and you really don't know. And that's a lot of the compounds of the research that we're doing right now, to find out how you can actually identify what it is you're truly experiencing, or is it a figment of your imagination, or is it actually one or the other?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of one of those deals. We're in Clubhouse, and if you're in Clubhouse, we are talking live on YouTube. If you want to come over to YouTube and check us out, I don't have anyone monitoring Clubhouse, so I can't really just, the phone is over there and bring you up on stage, and I do turn off the chats because they get pretty wild. But if you come over to YouTube, you're welcome to get involved with the chat and like the channel, subscribe to the channel. We got enough people here that these like buttons on this video should be like up in the 20s now. So if you have not smashed the like button, it's for the algorithm, it's for support. Please do so right now. Just take the time out. We'll pause for station identification. Beep. Hit the button. Appreciate it. All right. So JJ have another question, and then we'll get back to something that you just said that I think it's worth noting. JJ said, Marie, does it have to be related to religion? Meaning, could the religious aspect be considered an entity that was more advanced and capable than life that was experiencing these godlike forms? See, now that's when you move it over to ufology.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing.
But what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So let me reread the question. I got my laptop over here. So you want to know, does it have to be related to the religion? I wouldn't say it necessarily has to be related to the religion. It all depends on a person's personal perspective and their faith that's involved, or their religious association. But it doesn't necessarily have to be directly connected to religion. And like you said, there is that cross. I mean, then it pours over into the field of study that you're in, and what you guys perceive as, the religious component, or a reference of a godly life form.
Yeah, I think it, and I hope we have right now the chat, except for JJ, because see, JJ get to expand these answers. So today he is on point, and I appreciate it because he's driving part of this conversation. So keep him coming, JJ. But I do want my regulars who all are here. You guys got to be chatting some things, talking, asking some questions, because this is what we're trying to figure out, those experiences. So if you hear and you're in the audience, whether you're in Clubhouse, where you're listening, if you ever experienced a spirit type situation in the house, or people say my house is haunted, could it not be an extraterrestrial instead of a spirit trying to make contact, as opposed to being an actual ghost? Because if they're both using the same interdimensional ways to move about, then how come? And is there any correlation? Do they meet each other at some point, in this other dimension? And so JJ talks about it, example, that days of Jesus. So he said, if we were to take our smartphone to the days of Jesus, it would be considered a god, thus something of a religious life form. Yes. Is that a question? So I think it's no different. And that is when we see the movies, when there's some aircraft that goes back into time, the indigenous people will think it's some godly,
or godly.
Yeah, because it's some device, and so that makes sense too when you see all of the pyramids and all of these older structures, that they do depict some of these encounters as godlike encounters, because they came from the skies with flames burning and all of these things. So I can get where we will get that, and not to go into the stories of the Anunnaki and all of these things, which is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So Justin said, I've had experiences. My grandparents' farmhouse burnt down before they moved in 50 years ago. These people consciousness trapped on the property, but it's rare that they can sound off. So I think. He said, matter of time, the date for them was able to really cause something of our world. So I really didn't understand that, Justin, but I get he's saying that he had an experience. His grandparents' farmhouse burnt down before they moved in 50 years ago, and the people's consciousness was trapped. So, and
Sure.
that's one of these questions I'll ask you, and just kind of dip and dap it if you want. How come when there is a haunted house,
Mhm.
and there is a spirit in the house, it stays there, but it don't go down the street and move somewhere else? Why is it if somebody died in the house, why can't they leave the house?
Why is it that? And that's still a part of our parapsychological research and study.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say there have not been occurrences where that same energy form has transitioned into another home, which I've actually done an investigation where two different homeowners were reporting the same experiences, reporting saying the same type of energy or apparition or spirit, as you guys call it, and having similar stories. So I wouldn't necessarily say they're trapped. Maybe they're so tied to one location more so than the other. Maybe this is the burial ground, their final resting place. Or maybe there's, again, like what we've spoken about in the previous times, objects that they're tied to. And sometimes, they may transition from one area to the next, but still stay complacent in one vicinity, which I've with my research and investigations, that's typically what
Okay.
I run into.
Well, I mean, it'd be safe to say if you got a ghost trapped into a bedroom, just close the door and just lock it off with other parts of the house. You know.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone tell me that there was only one designated area of their house that a ghost would only travel. They might frequent one area more so than the other, but I haven't heard them be so stagnant in one part of an area.
Now, Nicole says, I guess it could be for me that it was a spirit or a guide. It didn't feel scary, non-human for me. So, I kind of laid on your comment there, Nicole. So, what are you're referencing that to, if you can tell us? And then Justin says the whole family died in a fire, and I have heard the mom screaming for her baby and the baby crying multiple times, and other people have heard it too. See, that's some freaky stuff right there.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't get that in the UFO thing. We get more of, messages and knowledge, or you got to lift the whole thing. It's more of a, again, the benevolent side of things. And when you hear the ghost spirit, so I mean, but like he's saying, they can still hear these baby crying. I showed the picture last week of the people capturing the mother ghost standing
yeah.
over the grave, and they've caught this several times. Where she could come from, I don't know. And the baby didn't die there, but the ghost shows up there. But why the ghost don't know the baby is dead, and why not her now have her baby in the spirit world with her, and she don't need to come over here and do that.
Mm-hmm. And who knows the association between that spirit woman and that child? Too many questions in that part. Too many questions. But you guys are making you guys are bringing up some really good comments, and it's making me think about something. So when I'm doing investigations, I've noticed one thing as far as time, and I think Justin mentioned this in the comment as well, that specific ghost or energy forms are always associated with a certain era, or have the tendency to be associated with a predated era,
Okay.
versus me seeing a ghost in a form with attire like what we have on today. I actually have not run into that. A lot of the energy forms that I have seen have all had on predated attire, early long dresses and the smocks, and it's always been like 1700, 1800 type of attire that I've run into whenever I see them. Why is that? Why are we not seeing, someone in the form of what we are now? Is it because technology is so much more advanced and the deaths that are occurring in this new generation of time are not as tied, to this current, I guess, formation of life as they were before? Is there certain things that took place in the era of the 1800s or the 1700s or the 1600s that was more religiously driven than it is now? Which is interesting. What do you guys think? What do you guys feeling? Is technology more of an influence with what we're seeing as far as spiritually, or what we're experiencing as far as the energy components of what we're seeing in these ghosts? Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you feel.
Well, Steph have a question for EVP or EMF. Now, Steph, you and I talk. You got to bring that down a little bit for me. So what is EVP and EMF? She said, have you ever looked into EVP or EMF activity in places known? Well, Marie may know the answer. I don't know what you mean, but have you ever looked into EVP or EMF activity in places not known to be haunted, i.e., proactively seeking or versus reactive? Wondering if you looked in religious or holy places, what you would find. So I guess you might know what she's talking about, because my UFO just left.
UFO
And I'm on it. Yeah.
Electronic voice phenomenon. So basically what Steph is asking for, have I ever gone to a place that was not typically known to have a lot of activity and utilize these particular devices to try to see if there is some type of spiritual activity there? Yes, I have. And I have not run into one location that did not have some form of activity that did not actually set off, or I was not able to pick up some type of EVP or EMF reading. I have always been able to pick up a reading, whether EVP, whether EMF. The reading levels are just higher in other areas than they are in some. But I've always been able to pick up some kind of reading for some type of energy form or activity. One thing to keep in mind is there may be a location that has more activity going on than the other. So ghost spirits, energy forms are all around us. They're circulating all around us at any given moment. They're in
Okay, but why couldn't they be aliens though? They're actually supposed to be in another dimension around us right now. So what's the difference? How do we know if it's a ghost or an extraterrestrial? If you listen to us in Clubhouse, we're live streaming with Marie Jackson, the ghost hunter out of Kansas City. I'm Roderick Martin, a UFO investigator. And we're just trying to see if there's a connection between the ghost and the extraterrestrials, the aliens, the other dimension spirits, and paranormal. Could it all be just one thing? And we just don't know. We're trying to figure it out. So if you want to come up into the video of YouTube, there is something in the pinned link there. You can come over to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have not took the time to like this video, please do so. Smash the button from there. And I didn't know. So I know that question was meant for you and wasn't for me, because I didn't know what EMF and all that was. And I'm not supposed to. I'm not a ghost. You are. All right. So we have, Corey Nard said this brother. He said this brother should have more viewers. I know, Corey. I'm with you.
He's working.
You know what? And let me say something, Corey. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly to everybody. I woke up this morning. This is a true story, and I know I'm getting off. And I really was a little discouraged today. And I worked really hard trying to make sure I'm doing not only the right thing, but the thing to make sure the videos, what we're doing, compelling, because it's, not only investigating this, but making sure the message is out. And I think I called you earlier, and I told you I was sitting meditating, right? And I was just in this moment, but I was like, okay, maybe, the format, we want to get more interviewees, and which just makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Anthony called me out of the blue. He's a reptilian and a channeler. And he was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know your show and blah, blah, blah. And he started speaking, and he started telling me about me. He was like, you this, and as you learn more and you're gonna know this, and I want to start interviewing you on what you think, not what this other person think, and not this person you interviewing. And it was just so profound. And I stopped him and I said, you must have gotten that from the other dimension, because I was meditating it on all day, saying, should I give them more of me, or do they need to hear more of someone else? You get, and then all I was hearing was educate yourself more anyway, but also through the internet. And I'm telling you, it was one of those days today, and I worked really hard behind the scenes. I tried to study as much things, create my show notes, and try to deliver. And the day was one of those days, and I'm in a space I don't have a lot of people to talk to about what I talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever get that way from your family, or what we do, the isolation behind it. And when these cameras go off, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Now JJ and I are text late at night. Steph, we talk. Dr. Karras, Nicole, a lot of them communicate. And I don't use the word a lot. It's just a handful. And they all have their own families and lives. But when it's time to get the sun goes down, it's a lonely factor, except for I'm investigating these cases. And so today was one of those days. Nicole said I had one of those days today too. So I appreciate it. And it was just, again, Nicole, and hopefully your day has gotten better. Mine, it lights up at 8 o'clock, it lights up though, because I'm among family and friends. And so I really enjoy that. So let's get back to that. Maybe that was one of my moments, but sorry, I am human. I'm a big human for my age, but I'm human. Yeah. All right. So, and again, thank you, Corey, and I agree with you. Justin said, Roderick on the come up. It's coming to stay here, stay with these days shows, and it'll soon the word will get out. I appreciate it, and everything else. So let's go back to JJ made a comment earlier, and then KG said, y'all show love the channel by liking the streams, and he's so correct, KG. I'm glad he prompts that, because we should have more likes on this video up if you haven't done that. And Roderick, have you seen those pictures I sent you? No, I will check them. If you send them to the text message, I will check that in just a few seconds, Diana. And let's see. JJ said perhaps the 1700s and 1800 essences were seen or like a vibration in what man calls time that is reverberating. Something similar to dropping a pebble into a pond. The ripples will go on and on. What the hell are you talking about, JJ? Look, I need to do what are you talking about, Willis? Because I'm lost. But I know he's on it, right? I trust JJ. JJ is one of my trusted sources of things, as well as a few others, but I don't understand it. So he'll break it down for me in just a few moments. And he really will. So
what you're talking about as far as the vibration of life and the essence of what might have taken place during certain eras. I just think it was just so many more spiritual compounds of relationships back then, more so than there is now. There's so much, everything is so dispersed, and there's so many more question marks. Back then it was like, this is what you're supposed to believe, follow suit with everyone else, and everyone followed. And now it's more of all over the place. Everybody's discovering their own idea of what is truth. So maybe that's,
I don't know. I because now when you get into, and we'll touch on that later, the religious side of it, we'll talk about religion from a UFO perspective, and then we'll talk about religion. I'm making sure I keep note of that, religion from the paranormal, because on one end of the spectrum, there are people that reference these UFO encounters or conscious encounters as aliens and demons. It depends on their cultural lens on the religion.
Yeah,
but for the most part, most people think it's more of a consciousness, spiritual thing. But I don't care what I've heard, when it's paranormal, I'm thinking it's evil. It's just got to be. But yet, it could be my grandmother, who is not evil, trying to contact me, and saying, hey, stop eating them cupcakes, Roderick. You know what I'm saying? But yet, because it's on that side of the fence, it's evil. I'm thinking that's me. So I don't know how many other people think that way when it comes down to these, and maybe not. Maybe y'all put that in. Hang on a second. make sure this works. But maybe y'all put that in the comments. What do y'all think? So let me see over here. There are some more people saying, Dinah says she agreed with what you're saying, Marie. JJ say the vibrations will continue unless stopped or bounces, reverberates off of something. This is one of the aspects of time. All right, so I kind of get what he's saying. It's an endless thing. So I kind of get what he's saying. But at the end of the day, how all of that really truly works itself out. So are you
Hey,
okay?
Roderick, can you hear me? I'm gonna have to
I can hear
pop
you.
back in because I got kicked out. Someone tried to connect with me, so I'll be right back. You finish your thought. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
I'll finish my thought. All right, because I have thoughts, and she's coming back. So we will, put that on me for now until she gets back. I'll let y'all know. But here's the deal: JJ makes a great point when it comes down to that, and I think it's just pretty cool when we look at the vibration of things from there. And Nunez, welcome to the channel as well. And I just want to welcome you and everyone else that comes. And JJ will continue. JJ, we're gonna have that conversation tonight. I didn't get to hit you last night, but keep that one to the side, and so I won't forget. Nicole says religious built fear in the masses, and I'm trying to unlearn so that I can embrace more of the spiritual side. All right, we're gonna really test the religious aspect in a little while toward the second segment. And if you're here in Clubhouse, like I said, we're on the YouTube right now, and definitely would love for you to. If you want to come over and see us live on YouTube, Marie will be right back. She's having some things done with her phone, which is cool. So she'll be back, and I'll definitely make sure all that works itself out for us. And so let's. There we go. So I'll get her. She'll be back on. And anyway, one of the things about it. So y'all heard the conversation, and she'll be back as we continue here. We'll be here another hour or so. But here's the deal. There is a connectivity between, I think there's connection between the ufology, the extraterrestrial side, and everything else. And so, all right. All right. So you there? You good? Don't hear you. So let's see if we can, we can't hear you. All right. So there's no, okay. She's going to come back. And we will do that. All right. So anyway, let's look into what we have going on there. So, oh, you know what? Oh, no, she would have come back there. So there is some connectivity. Nunez says when there's vibration and frequencies that are associated with color. Now, I'm not really for sure how all of that works itself out. When it comes down to that. But what again, the whole thing that we're looking into and what I'm looking into, and Maria will be back for those of you who just chiming in with us. She's having phone trouble, and I'll bring her back into the feed in just a few moments. But the whole thing is there a connection between, and I want you, the people that's in the audience watching, and like I said, we should have more likes. You got to hit that like button. It will help YouTube know that this is a channel, and it'll start sending and recommending this channel, and so we can get more people viewing. So it's all that. If you get enough value here to smash the like button, get us up over 30 or whatever, that will help. And if it's you that we can get the like from, I would appreciate it. But if you're in the audience too, I want to now know what you guys think. So help me out. I want to move the conversation. Y'all tell me what's your thoughts when it comes down to what is happening in this particular parts here. Hang on a second. So, all right, Marie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we can hear you. So all good.
Awesome.
So I just want you to know, make sure you test your conscious skills, because we were talking about you behind your back.
I knew it.
And if you can tell me what I said, I'm going to just shut down the show, because that means real.
Okay.
And if you need a lifeline, they'll cheat and tell you
Okay.
that I didn't say a damn thing. But you can try to guess, though. But go ahead.
Okay. So if I could tell you what you were saying about me behind my back.
While you were gone, yes.
While I was gone. While I was away for that moment. Okay. Okay.
And this is a spirit consciousness because I put it out in the cosmos.
Put it out there.
So you should be able to grab it out
Okay.
according to some.
Hmm.
According to some, you should be able to grab it out and tell me what I was saying while you were gone,
Okay.
or something to the sort.
I'm gonna take this vibration,
Mhm.
JJ, because we talk about vibrations a lot. And I'm gonna say you were speaking about what they believe my no, let me change it up again. You were saying that I am such an amazing investigator that I pick up on so many different things, and that you were so amazed to have me on this platform. That's what I think you said, and that's my
The
answer. Sticking with it.
the man side of me will say yes, yes, my friend. That's exactly what I was saying. But if you say, Roderick, be honest, I would say she need to get this damn phone fixed. This shit is really, what the hell is going on here? And I'm
Oh
thinking
no,
this and I'm sending it up into the cosmos. I'm like, come on, we own it. What's wrong with her phone? What's wrong with this damn thing? So
no,
that's what I was saying.
there's nothing wrong with my phone. I put it on. I have to use my cell phone because it has better quality than my laptop,
Gotcha.
and it's on do not disturb. But for some reason, phone calls still kind of trickle through,
If
and
they
it
call,
knocks out my
what,
audio.
what happens is if they call once, look, I'm going to tell everybody the
No.
breakthrough. If you have it blocked or do not disturb, if they call once, it won't come through. But it's got an emergency setting automatically that you can't do anything about. If they call again right behind it, it knows the phone is thinking that it's important. It'll let it through. So obviously, whoever it was called and then it called again.
Oh, my
And
sister,
that's how it
the
went.
younger one. It's the young one, you guys. The little one. She just calls. Yeah.
JJ said, yeah, the connections, vibration, on all of that. So I was just sitting here, and Nicole says, I'm trying through meditation and research. Nunes said, for example, violet light has the highest energy, frequency, and vibration, and the shortest wavelengths of visibility. You know, and when I meditate, you know, you're supposed to put the white light around you, and for healing or whatever. Now I'm testing this thing of at night commanding my cells, which is supposed to be sentient, to rejuvenate and heal parts of my body. Because I'm saying, hey, I need y'all to go over to these knees and work on that pain for me. Oh, go over here. And then I need y'all to set the fat burner on high. You know, since it ain't working this way.
Oh,
But
right.
but I'm hearing that's supposed to work though.
You're speaking it.
Well, it's not speaking it. It's supposed to be a true thing that you're supposed to be able to do that. And in fact, and I'm gonna read it. This is what I'm supposed to say at night before I go to sleep. And then I know I'm gonna weird some people out now though, but I'm gonna let y'all know I tried. So before I sleep, I put the white light around me and I read this little thing and I'll say, if there's anything that I'm carrying over from this life or my past life, I want it to be released, you know, and you can say in the name of Jesus or whatever you believe in. And basically the concept is that because we supposedly have been here in several occasions,
Yeah.
that we are carrying things from life to life that could be good or bad for us. And there's a phone again. See, was I saying it wrong? There was your phone. It went out. It came back. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? No. Okay. You're going to have to, we can't hear you. So, yeah. So you're going to have to come back in. But anyway, look, she's talking, but we cannot hear her at all. So there we go. So we'll let that go off and she'll come back in and out. But anyway, this is what I'm just letting y'all know that, so it's like, I'm supposed to tell in the conscious mind, releasing some of these things that you bring in it, whatever I'm supposed to be experiencing or how I'm experiencing things, and everything else. And so supposedly, now I do tell that I want to tap into the internet of life and get some talent and some things and learn some knowledge. Supposedly the knowledge is open to all of us. And so I do kind of meditate in those areas. And I don't know if any of you've heard that as well. If you do, and I hope I didn't spook you, but yeah, I listen to some things and I try to see how things should go. So I'm laughing now. My guy Kevin, you are so funny. All right, and no, I didn't know you was watching, but you sent me a text. I mean, I agree with I agree with you. So Maria will be right back. Again, she's having phone trouble. This time I don't have to think what I'm saying because we all agree she'll fix it because you saw her in a rampage. But Cold Blooded said, "Howdy, brother. How y'all doing?" So again, do any of you look into that part? We're going to talk about this, and this is still connected to the UFO, the paranormal, and all of those things. And do any of you feel or think we are living multiple lives, so to speak, and so therefore we come to have an experience? Now, I at first contradicted those things because I'm like, I did not come to experience a 400-pound lifestyle. I did not, although as a result of me eating, but is it still the results of the experience saying eat, eat, eat until you experience the experience, all of those things. So I'm just talking, right? So when I got to start studying all that and start saying, okay, wait a minute, this is where we are, then, all right, so she's back and we will get her back on the scene with us in just a few moments. So, and as always, I don't want y'all to just leave me. You back?
Yes. Yes.
All right, no problem. No problem.
Sorry, everybody. So sorry.
It's not a problem. So here's what you do. This is what you do. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be strange because you're a woman. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But as a man, if I'm gonna say, hey, we're going out on a date at 8 o'clock on Thursdays, just let everybody else know we on a date. You know what I'm saying? We good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just put the word out.
And you do what you do.
Yeah.
Just
put the word out at 8 o'clock. You and I are live streaming.
we have a date.
We have a date. There you go. We have a date at 8 from 8 to 10, and they just gotta they can wait.
They gotta respect that. They gotta come.
There you go. I'm with you. It's all good, and I'm it's all good. I still got my. I want to believe. But I got
this amazing group of people that kept you company while I was gone.
Yes, they did. So, all right. So Diana says, well, Nunez says, philosophy speaks. Because I said something, and I'll repeat it while you hear it, because you didn't get to hear this. So I was saying to them that I started hearing, and Diana said, sounds like you're participating in the power of intention. And I was studying, they was talking about how we come here to, have an experience.
Yeah.
And once I started learning more and more about that, I started saying, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't come here to experience no fat life. Why did I? Why would I? And I talk about that personally. I know. You with me.
Well,
you with me. I know. Thank you. Thank you. You're my friend. And I thank you. And she said, stop talking about yourself, Roderick. And I'm not. All I'm doing is I'm saying for the experience. And okay, now I can get more graphic and say, when I see someone that's in a bad situation of life, and I don't think, did they truly choose that experience, right?
Right.
Did they truly experience, or people who, I have family members that took their lives because of life was too tough. But then if you came here to experience that experience, would you have known not to, or would you know enough, okay, I'm done with the experience, I'm out of here. You get what I'm saying? So it's tragic enough, but it's all those things of saying, this is kind of the DJ Mark. I cannot pronounce your user.
DJ from KC1.
Yeah, he said, first time catching the show. Love you, bro. Listen to almost every day. I'm almost in Kansas City. Almost in Kansas City. I don't know how close you are. Element says, now I don't like the 400-pound. Wait a minute, he said. Damn, let me see. Somebody hit now. They put some knowledge on me now. They're going, now you don't like being that size. Shoot. Action time, baby. Let me see if they're seeing this on the message and stuff. It comes across, but I don't know if it's coming through Clubhouse or where the message. Oh, let me see here. Boom. There we go. Okay, so I'm getting it. So elements, and they've been sending messages here. He says, now you know you don't like the 400 pounds like me, so maybe next time we would know not to eat so much. I know, right? See, I know I wasn't alone about that. That's the whole point. And so if you think about the experience, he said next time. So when I come back, I'm going to be skinny. I don't know. Uh, but I want to fix it while I'm here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You want to fix it while you're here and say, okay, that's one of the things you do. So Walter's, well, multiple lives on one life in many vessels and bodies. This is what JJ is saying. And JJ, as in Nicole, is they're having the conversations. I'm gonna let them have the
Okay.
conversation because she says she do believe in.
Incarnation. Yeah.
Mhm. She believe in all that. So, and remember, they made that movie Souls. But anyway, I know that's kind of out the box here. But where I was going with that was knowing spirits. And when we talk about spirits and then extraterrestrials, interdimensional, all of these things is connected. And that's beyond our eyesight. So now we're thinking vibration, thing. And I remember there was this guy, I can't remember I saw the film, but they had a film to where they was showing things. They had this high speed camera was so moving so ridiculously fast. They was able to slow it down, and there was so many things moving that our eyes just can't see. Like right in front of us, like all these squiggly. I'm like, what the freaking going on? And this guy was like, see, we can't see it because of the vibration or all of those things. Now, what do they have to do with a UFO? Well, we talk about, how they're moving faster than the speed of light. Time, in this enormous from here to there. So we can't see that cloaking and all of these things. So maybe they're cloaking, or maybe they're moving in dimensional in and out. We talked about yesterday the Loch Ness monster. You wouldn't hear, but someone saying that it's part of like the Stranger Things. It's moving in and out of interdimensional places, and this is why we can't see this particular thing. And so it's just kind of one of those things. It makes you wonder all of this, and who really knows. So, but if you're here, I want to welcome you here to Why the Big Secret. And it's always why we want to know what the secret is of things. And my job is to do two things. I always say your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. It's time to think why. And another part is my job is to provide you, the listener and the watcher, enough information that you can see, things that you can read, you can touch, feel, to awaken your curiosity to the possibility that we're not alone in this universe. That's all I want to do. Because if I can get you curious, then you're going to be asking the questions. And now we own to something. Because I always tend to run into people that I say that, if I'm using the word property, literary, they're just lazy when it comes down to this part. And I can test that by when you're talking to this individual, when you're telling them something that they think is wrong, and yet they don't want to investigate the possibilities of what you're saying. So what they thought was wrong all this time could possibly be right. And
Yeah.
it's no different than somebody like myself. If I think I'm right about something and you are posing the information and conversation, I'm still going to not make the stance, but if I still will check. Unless I checked yesterday, I'm not going to do it again. But if I hadn't checked it, I will go enough and check to come back and say, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
thought this was right, but it's wrong, right?
Right.
And that's what has to happen in this particular space, because there's a lot of people believe that we're not alone in this universe. It's not possible. And like I said, we'll get into that in about 10 minutes about religion and how it affects the paranormal. And I'll damn sure tell you how it affects ufology. And that, man, and we're going to probably lose some people from there. Shit, they ain't going to want to hear that, because I'm going to tell you some stuff. Y'all going to be like, y'all better be talking. And it's a Texas thing, y'all, when I use the word.
No.
Yeah. All right. So, but yeah, that's one of the things. So I'm going to read something here. Nicole Walter said not reincarnation. And Nunez said there are so many karmic values that are associated with each individual. Justin said, you don't need to fix anything, brother. Love yourself and put the work in. No way around how to do it. Put it on paper, what you're doing, going to eat, exercise each day of the week, and don't make it so hard to do. Shit. Hell with that. I'm
Uh,
gone.
oh,
You
come
know, listen,
on,
listen, go
Justin,
ahead.
that was beautiful.
But here's the deal, though.
Justin Michael.
I got to admit, over there is a bench, a weight bench, 5 feet from me. Yeah. With some Bowflex on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I have been trying to use those. In this other office over here, there's a full weight bench, but the weights are so heavy and I don't want it to. Yeah, and so I ordered this thing another thing that locks the bar. So if it falls, it'll catch it and I'm by myself, right? I
Mm-hmm.
watched this terrifying video of this, and it was a true story. This lady was doing some weights and the thing just broke her neck right in front of her daughter. I know. I was like, shit. So
Yeah,
it really
Take
woke me up.
on workout equipment.
Yeah.
But anything you do, you can turn into a workout. Everything.
Yeah.
Walk stairs. I do a lot of.
Yeah. So someone that says in Clubhouse, which is 118 elements, I've learned that slow progress is better than no progress at all. So appreciate it. Remember, your body is electric. Don't worry. I mean, I'm gonna get the swag back because I'm figured I want to be.
Now let's get something understood. You haven't lost swag.
Shit. I want to hear. I want to hear.
Come
Pump it up.
on.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
You know what I'm most attracted to? Confidence. A person.
Confidence breed competence. I mean, competence breed confidence. Yeah.
Because there's some insecure, beautiful people, but the confidence is the most attractive.
I mean, I'm not okay. I'm just trying to state the obvious. So don't get me wrong. I'll roll up on you and be like, "Hey, put that Barry White thing down. Well, it's raining. You know how to get to McDonald's." I ain't even asking you need a ride. You know how to get to McDonald's. You know. No, just kidding. All right. So, here's the deal, though. We're going to talk about religion. And we'll talk about it in such a way, and I want our audience to get involved in it. Okay, guys, we got, in everyone, 27 likes. Let's get 30. If you have not liked the video, 4 of you, please take the time and like the video from Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. And also, if you're listening to us on Clubhouse, you can follow me as a speaker here, and also that way you'll get the alerts because we do stream into this thing. We definitely do that. And then we also, if you want, there's a link in the pinned description that'll bring you over to YouTube Live. And like I said, you will see 2 beautiful people. See, confidence is high. You will see 2 beautiful people here with Faces for TV. And why is it Face with TV? Because she is on TV. You filmed your TV show, which is going to air soon, right? Mm-hmm. I filmed several shows. 2 or 3 are now on TV right now. So I am a TV host and got plenty others. Signed a big contract on another project that's going to shock the world. Yes. And that one's going to be pretty big. So all of you that has been with me all this time, I just want to say thank you. And it is for you that we do what we're doing. So, all right. So we're going to talk about religion. But before I do that, there was a story, okay, that caught my attention, and hopefully all of you, and I'm seeing the chats. Y'all are throwing it out there for me. Someone else said, I'll go with you, Roderick. I'm 5'8", 300 pounds, and I know I need to be somewhere. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I want some accountability partners, right? Yeah. And take the journey. And I bought a scale. This is true story that I was going to put in here, and I was going to do it here each week. I was like, okay, y'all, I'm going to be accountable. Boom, I want y'all to see it, and everything else. And because I figure if I can have the world on my back, better way to do it, because obviously it's got to be a bigger reason for me. But here's a story, and it just caught my attention. I know it's off the box, but did y'all read the story about the mother that was shocked after expecting these babies, right? And I know most women, if you went and get the sonogram and they say, okay, you're pregnant, but what I'm going to share with you is kind of odd, and I just want to know what y'all thought was it. So this mother she already had 4 kids, and she went to, do the sonogram, okay? You see my watch, it's just AI, man, it's just listening. Her name was Ashley Ness. She admitted that she was shocked to find out after ultrasound that she was suspecting, listen to me, twins, okay? But not just one set of twins, 2 set of twins, Okay, so 4 babies. But but what they were saying was that she said she said the tech was sitting there and scanning her and said, hey, she writes A and B. So she said, I looked at her and I was like, wait, hold on, I'm having twins. She said, no, honey, you're having 4 babies. Now the odds of somebody conceiving quadruplets, which is 1 out of 700,000. So this happens. Okay, 1 in a million. Okay, but the odds of conceiving 2 sets of identical twins is 1 out of 70 million.
I did.
Right now, she alluded to, which I thought was, what's the word, irony or good thing or good part. She said I had miscarriages previously 4 times. So my grandmother actually passed away in January when she was conceived. So she was just tying this up. And the reason I brought this story up, because I was thinking about when we was talking about living all these other lives. So all of a sudden, the 4 beings that tried to come back in here through her was unsuccessful. But all of a sudden now she said she has 2 sets of identical twins are now born. So how we come into this world to experience that. So it just hit me in the conversations, and I was like, wow, it's just kind of warm. Even though she named them, the 2 girls are Chelsea and Chapman, the boys are Chance and Chelston. So what do y'all think about that? 1 out of 70 million. 2 identical twins, and she's pregnant.
So she lost 4?
She's had 4 miscarriages in the past. So she already had 4 kids, though.
She already got 4 kids, so this will be 8 total.
She would have had 8 one way or the other.
Either way it goes.
Yeah.
That.
Now, could she have said, I came in this world to experience 8 kids and I'm going to get them, and now she got them one way or the other? See, that stuff just makes me like, what is really happening?
Yeah. Were those ones that she lost, maybe it wasn't their time to come, and when she had her other 4 kids, now those other children that she was supposed to successfully conceive and give birth to, now this is the time for them to actually come into fruition and exist.
All at the same time.
Possibly. It's like, why wait? Why go one at the other? Let's just give you all 4 of your children back right away.
There you go. So even though we'll get into that another time, I just thought I'd throw that in there because it was an interesting story. And what some of the people in the audience, and I know when I hit stuff like this, because we got a chatterbox in our audience, and then they get quiet. They don't type nothing. And I know every last one of them ain't cooking or, stepped away and doing something. It's just, they were like, what? Or they got this expression of, that.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, what?
Maybe that's the expression, Yeah. Or maybe they ticked off and they be like, right. So we never know what they're thinking when it comes down to all of these things. All right. So if you in the audience, Clubhouse, we got our likes. We over 30. Shoot, am I pushing it? Can we get 35 likes?
We can do that.
I fix what I ain't broke. Okay, so Justin say I'm still with you. Y'all give me a thumb up. Let me know who's still out there. If you're there watching us, just let me know who you're there. I want to give a shout out to everybody who let me know that you're here. And we're going to talk about a religious side of the paranormal and ufology. And it might get a little deep or one or the other. So hopefully y'all in for the conversation. And if you listen to us too in Clubhouse, we're live on YouTube. Hit the link up there, find the channel, Why the Big Secret. Subscribe to the channel and everything else. All right, we're still, all right. Shadden said, hey guys, Shadi. And Justin said, I'm still with you. So we got 2 listening. Nobody else is listening enough to say they still here. And maybe they don't want us to know because I'm going to talk about religion. And they don't want to know that the world going to know that they're here. Joe said he's here. Shouty said, I'm ready for the religious talk. Diana ready. Okay, now, come on, give me, come on. I want to know if y'all hear in the conversation and you document that you hear in the chat because everybody's going to see this. Because someday we're going to have 1 million viewers and they're going to go back over these conversations and they're going to see today, on this day, this one moment, you was here in the place that you were supposed to be, because I believe nothing just happened. And you could have been any other place. We chose to be right here. Walter says, I'm here. JJ say here, see the questions above. I'll check them out. JJ, is there any recognized religions that isn't rooted in life from another place than Earth? Shit. Okay, we're gonna save that question. All right, we're gonna save that one, JJ. We'll come back. Michael Justin say I'm here. Religion doesn't equal to creator. Billy Carson just told the truth about religion. All right, so there's some vote. Okay. All right, so more people saying they here, so that means that we're good to go.
Good. Okay. Okay.
All right. Steph said we know we here. Hands up to Steph. All right. And let me just give a shout out. Steph, y'all don't know her, but she's been in Clubhouse. And Steph and I met through Clubhouse as a listener. And this lady has been one of the most instrumental persons in my life, especially understanding people and things, and even in friendship conversation. There's a bunch of you, so I'm not leaving it about, but I just want to highlight her for the moment and let her know from everybody. Thank you for all that you do and are doing for me, and the conversations and just strangers meeting strangers to become friends. That's just a wonderful thing. So
Absolutely.
all right, so here we go. So religion. Now, I said it earlier. I said it that there was a disconnect for me when I started thinking about spirits, okay? And you think about ghosts, and you think about haunted houses. All of these things, I put them in a negative connotation. Okay. But I have a problem with the house is haunted, and you show up as the ghost hunter, and you come back downstairs and say, it's your grandmother up there. And now I'm debating, should I get rid of her ass, or should I let this hunting, what is bothering me, but it's my grandmother. Okay, supposedly. This is the story.
Yeah.
So what correlation now that this hunted spirit for me religiously, and we're going to get into more deeper parts, but I'm interpreting this as a bad omen at this point. But it's my sweet grandmother, who I know was not mad. And by the time I was coming up the rank, she was a little too old to whoop some folks, right? Me. So I passed that point, but my brothers got some ass whoopings from her. So they might say, okay, I'm still reluctant. Like, okay, she can hang around. But then you ask the questions, why? Why is she here? Is she in the middle between a couple of things or whatever? And I'll tell y'all my father's story after he died, which was true story about him coming into my dreams, okay? Or poking me at night.
Yeah.
And I had to pray him out of there, okay? So my thing is, okay, I got my buddy Joseph Pugh. That's my boy. That is my for those of y'all that your dog.
Yeah.
I know somebody like, he's a dog now. He's a dog. No, I'm not barking. I'm talking about my boy.
That's your dog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my dog. All right. So I'm saying, what happens if again, you a ghost hunter?
Yeah.
I got some shit going on at the top stairs of the house. And then you come back down like the lady in Poltergeist with the hair and say, Roderick, it's your grandmother. And she's got a message. Well, give me the damn message and get her out. Okay? This is not working. And it's not going to work for the value of me reselling the house with these new laws coming where you got to tell people about haunted house, right?
Yeah.
So that's just going to kill the value of the house. And my boy Joseph will tell you he's a mortgage, he does all that and broker. And that is not going to help the sale of the house and an appraisal. Well, in Dallas, you can get away with it. But so what I'm saying is, religiously, I'm thinking, and from our cultural lens, this is a bad thing. So is there a good freaking spirit, godly type spirit for me to be thinking about versus what is that negative devil thing that I'm thinking coming from hell, right? Versus, or is my sweetheart, I'm using my grandmother, not y'all, is my grandmother in hell and we trying to get her on the other side? What is happening on a paranormal side? And then when I talk about it on the consciousness side, they'll just say, oh, she's just contacting you from another dimension. Well, hell, it's still a problem.
Yeah. It's all about.
Somebody else said, hold on. Sir, be careful because there are spirits that play off your mind and thoughts, and most biblical aspects say when they pass out their souls, go back to God. So there are bad spirits and they make up those things that were loved ones. See, now, he hit it right there on the button. That's what I was saying.
And
What's
that's
the identifier for that?
yeah,
That's 118 in Clubhouse. Great text. Go ahead.
yeah. So there's a lot of compounds of things that you mentioned in your statement. One of the things is an emotional activation that you have automatically from where that trigger from wherever that is stemmed from, for you to perceive this other realm of existence as and have that inferior disposition towards it is some other conscious link to how you were raised or what you were most exposed to in a spiritual compound. So seeing your grandmother as a negative thing, where do you feel like that mental derivative comes from? Where do you feel like you may have gotten that from? It's almost like a tradition you
Religion.
think. So okay, so from your religious experiences, from your religious background, you were trained to believe that anything that you see that is not of our form is
Anything that is talking from the TV,
poltergeist like.
anything poltergeist like is a problem. In Houston, we got a problem.
Yeah,
And like I said before, if one of my kids are caught in the TV and I had to,
you had to choose.
I'm fertile and I'm gonna make a new one.
You're gonna make a new child.
I'm gonna make a new child because that one's got a problem. Yeah.
It's all about one's emotional exposures.
Yep.
And I was raised to in a Baptist religious background. My family was Baptist. So, you know, we read certain scriptures, King James Version. We were taught to believe certain aspects of, you know, ghosts or spirits existed, demonic in specific forms. You know, there's the associations that existed. But as an individual, having been exposed to my own paradigm of experiences, I completely had to push aside my conditioned religious understanding. I had to unlearn a lot of things with my religion, my derivative of religion, because it wasn't making sense to me based on what I was experiencing. So it's all about a person's personal exposures and what they experience in their life. That's going to be more influential to what they feel or see when it comes to these other realms of existence or these other aspects of beings. And it's all about your emotional mindset. So if I see something come from the TV or something surface in my bedroom, it's not going to impact me emotionally in such a traumatic way that it might be someone who's never had a paranormal experience at all, or ever had any encounters with any, you know, energy forms, entities, UFOs, extraterrestrials, or any type of being. It's not going to impact you the same way. And even those people who come from the same religious denomination not necessarily respond the same way to specific encounters. It's all about their current mental state of mind and their current emotional state of mind that's going to influence their responses to these particular beings or these particular energy forms or experiences. It just depends. So like when I do an investigation, a lot of people will ask me, well, you know, what should I say to the ghost? Or is there a certain
Say
type
what
of
they
prayer?
said to me. Get out. They told me to let you get out. My
They're
damn.
like, is there a certain type of prayer that I need to do? Do I need to go get some
Lavender
sage,
or
sage
sage
or
and
some
stuff.
oil or some type of you know, some people use
Okay.
holy water.
Pause right there. Hold your thought.
Yeah.
See, that remedy is not going to work with an ET. He ain't, you ain't going to go sage your house worrying about the reptilian or the thing or whatever coming through those walls or the conscious visiting you. That's not going to happen. And even praying, we have, I think a lot of people experience that. You tell it to go away. When we feel the sleep paralysis and all that, and you be like, in the
Yeah.
name of Jesus, and a lot of people have been said that they've been told like the spirit laugh and like that shit don't
It's
work.
like, okay.
But since I'm bothering you, I'm gonna
Just,
leave. Okay.
yeah.
And
No,
yeah.
yeah, I never encourage, I tell a person, hey, whatever religious based faith you have that you feel is comforting to you, I am not here to change your mindset on what you truly believe. I'm here to identify what you're experiencing in the
Okay.
now. So, I usually tell people, center yourself around what you believe, but also understand the reality of what you're experiencing. And you can take it how you want. I'm not here to get rid of what you're experiencing. I'm here to just tell you you're not crazy and what you are experiencing. I can't put it in the backpack and say, take it with me. I'm not a Ghostbuster. And then,
So
they'll
there's a
ask me,
difference between a ghost hunter and Ghostbuster.
yeah. Ghostbuster means you're the one come in and you're ridding that environment of that particular energy form.
I just got this
Do that.
image. I just got this image when you said that, and I'm not saying you are, so don't take this the wrong way. But when I thought about it, you say, "Oh no, there's a difference between a Ghostbuster and a hunt." I'm thinking about the hunting dogs. Like you the dog, you go ooh ghost, ooh, and then I come in, or the hunter, the Ghostbuster come in and shoot the thing.
Yeah.
So there's like a 2-part. You're gonna come in and ooh, it's over there.
I'm like,
She's not
there
a
it is.
dog.
You got it.
All right, let me read a couple of
One.
the comments here. We got a lot of them flowing.
Yeah.
So to
I do
keep
want to
us,
say, Spartan, I believe it is. I think it was Spartan that said they're here for Marie. Thank you for
we're here
joining.
for you,
Yeah, I
the
just
ghost.
she said I'm here for Marie.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
here for
Spartan
you.
said,
Oh, shoot. I was like,
yeah.
what ghost? We ready to get them. They ain't coming to take you. I thought that's what she was saying. All right. So some of the comments, man, I lost a few of them down the road here.
Yeah, quite a few.
Justin said, I don't worship anything, but you can certainly open to a two-way relationship with a higher dimension beings and to benefit greatly from
Mhm.
from it if you pay into ether, or our rules must know. Steph said, go into the light, be gone. That's true. I'm laughing. It's a variation rather than a hunting, is what Nicole says. And Margaret said, new to the channel. Margaret Gonzalez. Welcome, Margaret Gonzalez. I hope you
Welcome.
subscribe to the channel. And if you're still here, and she said an interesting question that JJ posed. So I'm going to go back up to that question and find it. JJ says, is there any recognized religion that isn't rooted in life form another place than Earth? Oh, so, I know.
Help me understand that one.
Well, what he's saying is, and I'm thinking he's saying is that does anybody pray to a galactic being, so to speak? In other words,
Mm.
outside of, we got the Jesus story. He died here for our sins here
But
on earth,
outside
and
of this.
the origination of all of that. I'm thinking he's thinking, do we pray? Now, the reason for that, which is great question, JJ,
It
and
is. Yeah.
shoot, we're gonna have to make him like the
You're gonna have to
brain.
come up here.
I'm gonna give him a new title, the brain. Yeah, what the brain has to say about that today. So, and I hope he's not offended by that, but that's in, saying
That's
that
confident.
that's an honor from here.
Yeah.
So, Jay just says, Margaret, please tell me, what do you or anyone here define a soul as? So they're having that conversation, and someone else said that Nunez, everyone emits electromagnetic energies. That's like the fingerprint. That's fine. So let's get into that part real quickly. So when my father died, now this is the true story. The grandmother was my analogy. Okay. When my father died, I remember distinctively, and he used to do this when we were young. He was poking me. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking outside the box here. Well, my daughter came downstairs one day and said, Papa is what she called him, was in my room last night visiting me. And I was like, I felt the same shit, right? So I said, okay, we got some issues now. Our issues got issues. So I go into the room, and all I knew at this time was to pray. So I got him next to my bed, and I started praying. And I said, first, I gave him a message. I said, Dad, I don't know what's going on in your life. So I start praying to Jesus. At this time, I'm Christian. So I was like, listen, whatever I need to do, he needs passage through. Whatever needs to be happening here, I need him to have passage through. He's in the middle. Obviously, he's in the middle. and he's in my room and I can't sleep. And so I start praying and I said, Father, I'm sorry, but I got to get you on the other side. You can't stay here. You know, you might be having fun poking. The little girl came down this morning, and was not thrilled. And it stopped happening. So I thought that particular time, okay, now we're dealing with the prayer. This is something. But now I'm a UFO investigator, and I've investigated and interviewed over 400 people. But there's been a countless of stories that have been contacted at night. Some people think it's sleep paralysis and everything else. And they will say, I will say, in the name of Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And some have said that the entities have just laughed at them and said that don't work. You know, but I'm going to leave because I see that I'm bothering you. So they do have some type of compassion in this particular scenario. Okay. Now, before we go deeper, you know, I think, you know, if we start into the good book, and I go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and it says, let's make man in our image, you know, and I, you know, start saying the word ire is plural. I'm like, "Rrr." I got my Scooby-Doo. So, and then it says, let's make them in the likenesses of ourselves and then give them dominion. And I'm like, "Rrr." Yeah, like, "Rrr." So I want to ask my mom, and I didn't want her to do the shaggy thing, like, "Rrr," no, you know, but she didn't. She had an answer. She was like, this is the Spirit, the Holy Ghost. And, you know, she said the R is the Trinity. That's how she slapped it to me. You know, I'm like, Mom, I don't think so. Now, I have doubts in a lot of the stories today, and I will admit that. Because I have to have, I think, belief or some structure for myself. I am not denounced that I'm no longer Christian, but I'm also open to the possibility there's part of the story that I don't know.
Yeah.
Or could not be true.
Yeah.
And I'm on a path to find the answers.
Yeah.
So but I still got to hold on to something.
Something.
Yeah, so that I don't lose it. But I am on the quest of the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
I consider myself to have an omnist perspective on religion.
Okay.
And that means that, you know, there's so many religious denominations, and there's so many culturalistic norms and practices, and there's there's so many different versions of truth that I've gotten truth or my idea of understanding situations from multiple different religions. I've taken pieces of so many different religions and came to certain conclusions based on my own personal experiences. So I don't center myself, like you said, you do have to have something to kind of float off of to give yourself a little bit of a vehicle towards direction of truth, to carry you into different versions of truth. But I don't center myself and hone myself in one perspective of religion, because I have learned that is not always going to give me all the different vials of truth and understanding, because it limits how much information we're allowed to extract from other cultures. It's almost like a blocking process. So that's why I've transitioned a lot of my verbiage when I talk about my investigation from using the generalization of specific identifying components when it comes to like ghosts and, you know, entities or deities. You know, if you have a polytheistic type of belief, I pull back from that because it associates me with a certain religion. That's why I say energy instead of.
So would you say, in fairness, that people that's in the job that we do, UFO investigators, believers, ghost hunters, that we have to have that curiosity of a religion to go forward. Otherwise, we can't. The cultural lens is not going to let us open the door to the possibility of anything else.
Yeah.
And I understand that, because that was, I think that was part that affected my marriage when I was married. And I look at it today because, you know, even though our issues had issues,
right.
but I do now understand, and not to have any grudges with her because she wasn't supportive of this mission that I'm on. But through the culture and lens, she couldn't. It wouldn't allow her to fathom past
Yes.
at that time in her life. Yeah,
Hmm.
she just couldn't get through the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she couldn't go back and ask whoever was teaching her, "Can I go through the doorway with my husband?" He would like, "No, get rid of that charlatan dude. Whatever." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's
Yeah.
the whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I understand that, and I know there's a lot of people out there watching, listening,
Hmm.
that there's going to be some areas because that if you're believing in this UFO thing or paranormal or the afterlife or reincarnation or all of these possibilities that takes you outside the book, outside the embeddedness, man, I know what's going on with you on the inside because it is a tough road to go. And for me, of course, I'm open. So
Yeah.
and I'm open to the question that a lot of people ask me all the time. Hey, Roderick, um, you know, what do the ETs look like? What do the aliens look like? And you know, of course, I got this gray thing up here, right? Which is
Exactly. Yeah.
which is a species. But I,
Yeah.
I, I like to rack their brain with some reality that most people can't take, and they take a deep breath. So before I say it, let me give it a tone here. There we go, right there. I'm finna tell y'all. So when they ask me, Roderick, what do they look like? And I look and I pause. And I'm not pausing because I can't think of the answer, Marie. And I'm not pausing, but I want the impact for them because I want them to ask me again, come on, man, what do they look like?
Yeah.
And I look them in the face and I'm reading like, okay, I got the 911 button ready, the swimming ducks. I got all the support for them before I answer this question as quickly as I can. And I know y'all waiting on the answer too. And I look them in the eyes and I say, not in my very white voice of, hey, do you want to go out on a date? I say, what if we look like them? And
Hmm.
they be like, what the what? I said, and it's almost like they, do that thing. And this is the expression that they have right here.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, what?
And I'll say, what if
Yeah.
you look like them? And it's kind of funny because we've all had children, and we got children, so to speak. And you have people to walk up to you and they see your daughters and they go, wow, Marie, you look just like your daughters. And you really want to answer, no, hell no, I don't. They look like me. I made them.
Yeah. They're in my.
And I get that a lot because the church, T.D. Jakes is the church. And if you've seen his brother, looks, well, now I'm going to correct myself. I was going to say looks just like T.D. Jakes, but his brother's older. Ernest. Ernest will always say, no, he's the younger brother. He looks like me. Although he's famous,
Hmm.
and people say, you look like TD. No, he's my brother, but he looks like me. I'm the older one, you know. But in this case of the kids, So the shocker is it's a possibility. Nicole says we do.
Hmm.
And she said, we do look like them. Justin said, grays are real. They look similar to the head behind you. I saw one in Austria travel unexpectedly before. I called in and told you the story months ago, and I was thinking about aliens at all. All right, thank you. Margaret said, many people say aliens speak telepathically, perhaps becoming our most enlightened self, and will allow us to use the same. Diana said, religion is more control, so I consider myself spiritual. I think we touched a good ground with that.
Yeah. Margaret actually mentioned something earlier
Okay.
about, she said, what about religions like Buddhism where it's less about deities like God, but it's more self-enlightenment? Could this be the purpose of religion to allow us to achieve our best selves? Which is a really good question. And I've started to tap into this other dynamic and paradigm of life because um there's a circle in my bedroom on the wall. It's a half circle, and it's also known in the Buddhist religion, the Japanese culture, as Enso, ENSO.
Okay.
And the Enso circle is the actual half circle of enlightenment. It means self-enlightenment, self-awareness, self-acceptance. And it's Buddhism. You do a lot of meditating. There's channeling of the energies and self grounding yourself to be more honed in on you as an individual being and your abilities.
Okay.
And so I've been practicing that a lot and tapping out of the traditional conditioned religious structure, shall we say.
But does that help you deal with the
It helped
paranormal?
me deal with the paranormal components in my life. It's my grounding mechanism. But
So you're saying, or is it like you're saying, if you walked into a house, and I always use the poltergeist as my reference point, and you open the closet and remember that one when the ghost comes out, you know, so you're saying you'll look at that shit and be like, you got a ghost, while the rest of us is running.
I'm probably, if it comes in an attacking form, I'm going to jump like any other person. However, I'm not going to be.
But it's in this inanimate form, and it's not going to poke you if it's attack. Is it just going to go through you? You
Some of
know,
them actually physically.
well, like the Freddy Krueger stuff, like scratching.
Yeah, I've been scratched. I've
I
had.
wish I would run into one of them.
I've been physically. I've been physically harmed.
Now my hypocrisy for fearing ghosts goes so far. You come in and you touching some things here, we gonna get down.
What are you like gonna do to it?
I will hold a water it. I'm gonna try everything known to I know. Holy water, throwing Bibles, burning the house down last. That's the last thing
No.
we did. I mean, calling everybody I know. I mean, it's gonna get down. Believe me, it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go for that one. You can come in here and knock the lampshade over, and I'll be like, that's strange, you know.
Yeah.
But if you come on, I'm scratching, be like, dude, we got a problem.
I actually that you're making a really good point, because a lot of people that I personally and from the research I've done believe that these energy forms prey on a person's emotional instabilities or physical.
That's what 118 was saying earlier in the message. He was saying be careful, and when I was reading it earlier, that they could prey upon and even coming in forms of what I think is kind, but they're hidden behind that. So they can come as my sweet little grandmother. But yeah, 118 hit me in what we call a wormhole. No, what do we call it? The Stargate. It's the wormhole this time on Clubhouse, but he hit me on the wormhole.
Yeah. And like someone mentioned on here, the veil, what did he put on here? The veil is thinning, which it is.
Well,
The veil is thinning.
Lunch says, Roderick, help us fight the evil aliens. See, I don't know, except for Independence Day, the movie, when they come to take over the world and die, or when they ask them, what do you want here? Die, and so when you look at movies and stuff like that. So anyway, if you're watching us for the first time, please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get to 45 likes. We got 38. I need 7 people.
You got 39.
Yeah, if you can do that. I'm Roderick Martin, and this is Why the Big Secret. I'm also the podcast goes up, and if you get anywhere you get your podcast, you can listen and download these while you're driving. It'll be uploaded to the podcast, as well as Marie Jackson is a ghost hunter in Kansas City. She's also just finished filming a TV show in LA. She just finished it and just did another parts of it. And so her show will be coming out pretty soon. And I have finished a couple of TV shows. One is airing right now, one of 3 hosts, and it's called Alien Endgame. It's on the Discovery Plus channel. It's streaming. Okay. All right. If you're a friend of mine and you haven't watched it, and one of the things I'm concerned about, and I've got a couple of phone calls, oh man, I don't have that subscription. And you feel bad because it's $6. And you want to say, well, come on, man, I'm your boy. Watch the movie, and it's still a free trial. So you can just get a free trial, watch it. So it's Alien Endgame. Now, this one here is about military encounters, okay, where people were ordered to fire up on UFOs, and some people lost their lives, and a lot of stuff was disclosed, declassified. So we cover that. I'm the UFO investigator. The main guy is and then there's Melissa Tittle, who is the investigative reporter. Billy Carson, if you don't know who that is, Forbidden Knowledge TV, the brother is deep. deep, deep, deep. And I'm talking ancient civilizations to the pyramids, to the higher knowledge of things. He has his own network. Just was in a documentary with him where it's called Black Knight Satellite Beyond. We did a red carpet event in Detroit. He threw it down. I flew up there and I'm on a red carpet. And, oh, it was so exciting. So again, also next week there will be a show coming out on Fox Tubi that I'm one of the experts in about Roswell, New Mexico's 75 year anniversary. And then also, if you watch GAIA, which they have their network, I'm one of their brand ambassadors now, but I'm also been featured on George Norrie's show, which will have 1 million watchers, which will air in a few months. I cannot wait for that. And then I'm going back up there in September to be on Open Minds. That is a great show. And then I also already finished 8 episodes, a whole full season for Vid Knowledge TV. We're getting ready to work on season 2 and 3. And then a contract, a big one, is working for one of the big networks for Ideal that I had. And so as of today, I'll get executive producer's credit, consultant credit.
Yes.
I don't get the created by because it was my concept, but I didn't give them a pitch day. But I do get the other credits in being in it as the talent. So it will put my name in history. And they are saying that they think the networks, the ideal that I gave them, and I'm not going to tell y'all, but I want to. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm going to put it in the conscious space right now. Boom. I'm going to get in there. If you didn't get it, hook it up. But they said that it's going to be one of the biggest shows in a year or so, because that's about time it'll show. And then I'm also in communications with some people y'all do know for some TV stuff. So we'll see how all of that, and it's an amazing thing because 2 years ago, I couldn't even talk about this stuff in my house. And I was going to be the good husband. I was like, man, this shit is affecting my wife, affecting the life every now and then. Because if I leave Ancient Aliens on the TV, it ain't happening tonight. She's pissed. And to a new word, has the pissivity. She's pissed. And so now it's like, okay, what do you do? So I just say that for people out there that's experiencing different things and where from there. So, all right. So like the channel. All right. We are 40. So I really appreciate you. I'm talking to you who just hit the like button and appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Any new people, I want to thank y'all for being here. We have to pay that homage. All right, Marie, we got about 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Any UFO things that ponders you about UFOs that you might want to add?
Yeah. Well, you just put me on the spot here. Let me ponder on something.
I know. Why don't you think about that? And before we do that real quick, I've been looking at this thing a long time on as I watch you this whole time, and it's caught my attention, and I'm like, all right, this girl's rocking it. Tell me about that book up there to your right. Look, you looking at something else. You like, tell us about the book.
This one.
Yeah. Look, you look at all like, look, okay, we'll give you your compliments, but I am talking about the book.
I knew what you were talking about.
All right, come on with it.
So, present viewers, most of you already know the book 10 Feet Under that I wrote about my, it's a true story, based on my family's direct experiences, what we consider the poltergeist.
Okay.
And this was during the late 1980s. Again, it's based on a true story, 10 Feet Under, written by me. So it just came out June 2nd. And it's not available for download as of yet, but I am working on formatting. I'm working on the formatting to get it available. So anybody who is interested in getting a copy, I do have physical copies on hand. And a percentage of the proceeds, if you purchase directly on from this channel, why the big secret? Percentage of the proceeds goes to the channel to help keep it moving and help keep it operational, so we can continue to keep the message going and build the links and information together. So anybody, 10 Feet Under, if you want to send me a message, you can put a message down below in the chat. And ghostlingtv@gmail.com. I do accept PayPal as well as Cash App. And I will get a copy of this mailed out to you. True story on my life and what happened when my family was living in a haunted house. So Definitely be supportive. And you know, anything helps. Everything is completely greatly appreciated.
All
Most
right.
definitely.
Well, below, y'all can see I have her links below, so y'all can kind of check that out,
Yes.
and pretty much,
Taking it.
uh, and so we can definitely look at that from there. So there you go. There you have her links and everything else. Someone asked some questions. Billy Carson is the man. Justin said yes, he does. Someone else says shoot for the moon. You will land among the stars. Is what Margaret says. Well, you know we're gonna take the whole galaxy. And someone else says Diana says you go big or not at all. Love it. And Beyond Belief is on fire. Nicole said, "Woo woo, Roderick." Margaret had a question. I like how Bigfoot walks in and out of the minute. You know what? Shoot, I'm gonna answer that one in a minute here because I'm gonna tell Margaret what I think about Bigfoot. And she said something, and I said this at a UFO one of our MUFON meetings, and they always were pausing, but then there was somebody in the background like, "Yeah, hell yeah," and it was a Bigfoot guy. And Margaret said, "Roderick, quick question: Who is JJ? He seems informed." All right. And then someone asked, do you have a YouTube channel? And all of that stuff, which I put all her links right here on the bottom of the screen. So that question is answered. But someone says, Roderick, who is JJ? JJ is a mysterious person. Okay. And I'm going to answer that. I've grown to know JJ with his anonymity in the way he rolls. I don't know exactly who he is or what he is. I just know that JJ is definitely informed and he also works with some secret squirrel things. And that means some under projects and stuff. So he's very intelligent. JJ brings a perspective into our conversations. And even when him and I chat at night sometimes, because, you know, again, I'm up late, I'm working on this thing, and he appears to be up when I'm up sometimes. So we have some very, very detailed conversations and some things that if I kind of get out there, he'll bring it back home, and then he knows I'll say, JJ, I don't understand, and then he'll rewrite it. So he's a great guy, and hopefully someday I will meet him in person, as like would everyone else out here. So that is the wish to do. So that's the backstory on JJ, but he is a trusted person here. He's vetted, so you know. He can say some things here, and we don't allow a lot of people to come out with a lot of things. You know, some stuff you can't even see because it's blocked. But we get some weird stuff. But
Mhm.
someday JJ will
He will.
he will no longer be a myth like the story of
I
religion.
like the mysteriousness about him, kind of. I kind
Yeah,
of like that.
it's like weird, you
You ask some very,
know.
very,
Yeah,
very elaborate questions, and I
yeah.
have to sit in a minute, you know, just kind of think through it,
Hmm.
interpret your perspective on it. But keep them coming. Keep it coming,
Oh, yeah,
JJ.
he keeps it real there. I mean, he can definitely, you know, and I like it because it leads us in some directions and stuff too. And so Nicole and everyone said that. So outside of that, we have 8 minutes, 8 minutes to do. So Ghost Link, is there an ebook format for your book? And I think you answered that question.
Yeah.
You want to answer it again or?
Yes, yeah. So for everyone who's interested in getting a copy or a digital copy, ebook copy, I apologize. We are still working on getting all the formatting for multiple different sites, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. So I will definitely post the link once it's available on whatever show when it comes out. So I apologize. If you want a physical copy, I do have a few on hand that I can mail to you. I can send you a copy through the mail.
All right. Well, looks like they want that, right? No? Yeah, I think they do. We can
Yeah.
definitely allow that to happen from there. Okay, so JJ, the secret squirrel with the big brain.
Big
Yes, I love
brain.
it. That's what she says. And just can't let y'all know. So when I'm sitting here and you see me looking to the right, let me put it up on screen. This is what I look at right now. So I have the roadcaster. I got 3 monitors working, show notes, the camera over there. Sometimes the teleprompter is moving, and so when you see me talking, I'm watching the chat from another thing over here. So that's just part of what I'm doing.
Roderick, we got to get some of your merchandise out there.
No, the hats and stuff, right? I
We
got
need to
different
get that.
colors. I actually there's a website that actually has what you can buy shirts and stuff. I just gotta figure. YouTube says when I get 10,000 subscribers that I can then link it in there. I know, right? I'm trying. I'm trying.
You keep doing it.
Yeah, and because what happens is all the other people, that's in here, they got a lot of subscribers, man. But they've been doing it longer, and some of them got hundreds and hundreds of subscribe thousand, like Jimmy Church, and that's my guy. He got 100,000 people, and so hopefully someday, I'll get up in there. So if you have not subscribe to the channel, please do it. Hit those alerts as well. So we can definitely be doing that. Yeah, and I do. Like I said, I got the link, and you can get now. These hats are different. I just had them made.
Yeah.
Have one with red and Why the Big Secret, and we're working on some brand colors and
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that, Justin Michael. It's not. Yeah, I'm gonna change that. Good point. He said my YouTube channel settings are set for kids.
Yeah, so it won't let a lot of that notification.
Yeah,
Every time I turn these videos, you got to let it know. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix that. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, please. I mean,
Yeah. Sorry, we can't be out here like that. We got a lot of stuff.
we need adults. I mean, you can't be going out there,
We got to do some adulting.
messing up some of these kids' dreams and they looking at you and thinking ghost and paranormal. See, that's what I'm saying.
We got to have a one day talk about how children and their experiences with ghosts impact us as an adult.
Now, JJ said, this is that secret squirrel side. He says, and I'm gonna speak in that detective voice. He says, I'm not able to have your book mailed to me, but I will happily do so. I don't know what he means, but you can't know who he is and where he is what he's saying. That is unattainable. He needs an email download copy.
Not able to have your book mailed to me, or I would happily.
Well, remember JJ, like I told y'all, he's like secret. He's all like secret stuff, so you don't really know. So that's his way of saying you ain't gonna find out where he lives. Well, JJ works on some stuff, y'all. Okay. Oh, real quick, I got a book. What the hell am I thinking? I got a book.
Yes, you do.
Shit. Let me show y'all my book. Yeah, let me show y'all. And this is for the Clubhouse people. If you're listening in Clubhouse, I wrote a book, but it does apply to, where's my mouse here? Hang on, I'm going to bring it up on screen here. Okay. All right, so here's a book called The Clubhouse Influencer that I wrote. And basically it talks about, if you want to, have a conversation and understand after 400 interviews what I've learned and how to build those conversations and relate to different people. But also with Clubhouse, if you are, building that message. Now, this will work on any audio forms, even what you see today. Now, this box that you see here is one of 50. I won the Clubhouse's Creators First. They had a program where they did Creators First, and this is where 5,000 people submitted to be part of their Creators First. They chose 60 people to do a show. They gave us all a budget of $1,000, and they was going to choose winners from the audience. After that, I went on, became one of their winners, and I signed a contract of worth the value of $25,000. This was last year from Clubhouse. And so I wrote a book on not only that, Dr. Karis, who comes in here a lot, she's the actual editor on that book. Now, the link is in the description of the YouTube channel, so you can get it on Amazon, is there as well. Definitely support it. You will not be disappointed. You will learn a lot. You will learn some of the profound things that I came across interviewing so many people that had these experiences and how they was dealing with it, and how you can communicate with people, and even myself, the growth of it, acknowledgement, and not just sympathy and apathy, not apathy, but empathy of just understanding how people see this. And for example, I had to develop the knowledge of the cultural lens process, because what I started realizing, there were so many people would come on stage, and if somebody came on stage, and now I can just about identify their religious background based upon how they see the UFO phenomenon, because they talk through the lens. And what I started trying to do is realize that some people say have the show froze or had it stopped. Nope, that's your internet service, Joe. Con- Contact your internet provider and do that. But so what I noticed through the not contractor, I'm reading over here, but the lens, that some people get on stage and they're arguing at this person. And then I start realizing that they're thinking, we're talking about the same thing, but he's saying it's a demon. And this one is saying it's angels. And all my religion says this. And finally I'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is it possible that we're talking about the same thing? And if that's possible, then that's when I started to acknowledge and understand, which is the same thing that I, understood in my previous marriage, where I now can understand she wasn't against me. She wasn't, and same thing for you or whoever y'all go through, is just that they just don't understand.
Right.
And a quick example of that would be if you were marrying somebody or married somebody, where you walk into the bathroom and the toothpaste is meticulously winded up to the end, and then you go and then you just squeeze it from the middle like I do. Let's get it done. They pissed off to the highest festivity because they upset. Okay. And then y'all think y'all not getting along, y'all not gelling, or we're not equally yoked. It has nothing to do with that. Wherever they come from, this has been embedded, that you fold and roll the toothpaste up. Over here, squirt it out, get your shit clean, and get out of here. My brother's next. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to, do what he do. So you got to come to the middle and understand where each other's speaking from. And I learned that, and I teach a lot of that in this book, which grew the club from 300 people. Now it's 26,000 at that point. And then Clubhouse has changed a lot now, the algorithm. But it used to be back in the day, that booger was jumping. And,
yeah, I was around when you first started the Clubhouse.
Yeah, and we met. Yeah,
Mhm,
and of course and we met through that, and we met in Dallas and had some dinner, and she stood me up the first night, but the second night we ended up meeting. When was the third night you stood me up?
I was only working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You stood me up 2 times. Now I think about it.
12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, you were.
Literally.
She was here.
Literally. I worked so much.
She was here working. All right, so it is that top of the hour with 2 minutes over. Anyone else got anything y'all want to say in the chat to Marie and myself? We do this every Thursday. We're going to find ways to bring it even more into this thing. But y'all got any questions for Marie before we shut down, or anything else? And of course, I'll close us out as usual. Anybody got any questions? Somebody said, I live in an apartment. One time that was haunted. Or could you say visited, but there was a quadruple homicide across the hall. Did you know that before you moved in? That's the question. And see, and that's the stuff I was talking about earlier, Marie. Could they say, you hear how I said, like, okay, it happens in that room, was it stay in that room, but obviously somebody got killed across the hall, but they coming over to her place ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that a problem?
Thank you, Justin. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be dormant in one location just because that is where their final resting place is. These energy forms can travel interdimensionally.
So they can come over here right now.
They can come over. I could send a couple over to your house.
I wish they would. And I'm not saying that for real.
You just, you get what you ask for. Words are powerful. Remember
I'm looking around like, shit, don't come over here with that shit.
Powerful.
I'm like, no. I'm looking around like, I don't have nothing against the spirits.
Once you've been around there, or you've done something so much, or been exposed to something so much, it becomes the norm to you. And it becomes, you become, more acquainted with it, and it doesn't scare you as much. You're not as fearful. Most of the time people fear what they don't understand and what they've never experienced.
JJ said, Roderick, you just described the varying views on what spirituality and religious truly is. Okay. And Justin said, Roderick gonna have to night light on. I know, right? Shit, I would be like, see,
Downstairs and the child across the hall was stabbed 47 times.
47. Now, okay, here's the deal. Let me stop right now. She said that kid got across hall was stabbed 47 times and the other one was shot. You have the right to come back and whack some folks out. If they stab you 47 times, you should come back and play havoc on their ass.
I
Believe
will
that.
hunt the heck out of you.
That kid has the right to, and if he need to come through here to keep going to get to there, welcome, keep going. But if you need a passage through here to get to them, go. 47 times.
That's a lot of times.
That's one of those things you got to come back and
say something about that too. JJ, thank you. I look forward to doing these discussions with Roderick, and we will definitely be back Thursday. And thank you for keeping our brains stimulated with your statements.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I'm sorry.
You don't have to say. Good point to say people should not mess with things they don't understand. That's 118 out of Clubhouse. Yeah. And man, I'm just pretty much. So I think I will
Great town.
Close us out a little bit. We good?
Yeah. We'll follow up next Thursday.
All right.
Back.
All right, everyone. This is Roderick Martin with Why the Big Secret, and I was here with Marie Jackson, and we talked about a lot of stuff tonight. And I want to welcome everybody new who came to the show tonight, and hopefully you like the button, subscribe to the channels, and all of that. And every Thursday we're going to do that. But I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so you can get a heavy dose of your boy anytime. But subscribe to the channel as well. But if you got anything that you want to chat about and you want to talk about ghosts, goblins, or spirits and UFOs, extraterrestrials, government secrets, come to contact at whythebigsecret.com. Send me an email. If you want to come on here next week with Marie and I, and you got a story you want to share live, and you got a phone, and you have a good internet connection, hit me on contact at Why the Big Secret, and I will bring you up into the feed with the beautiful one, Marie, and then I will do what I do there. But I always leave you with this. Your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. It's time to think why. And the reason I say that, because it don't matter what you see. If your mind is not open enough into another dimension to believe the possibilities of things, you're not going to interpret it anyway. So this is what we do here, and this is why we're here. And the question is, why is there a big secret? And that's why we're here. So it's been a plum, pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. I'm Roderick Martin, Marie Jackson. Toodles, good night to each and every one of you. Share the channel, and I thank y'all, and we'll see you next week. All right, Marie, you hang on while we get them out of the stream. So I got to hit the last part. Boom.